Germans celebrating the fall of the Berlin Wall. At Potsdamer Platz, November 12, 1989. RMS Titanic departing from Southampton. Pier 44. April 10, 1912. McDonald's prices in 1980. Who remembers getting a burger and fries for pocket change? How they expected food delivery would be in the future, 1940. Ford Bubble Glass Top Vehicle, 1947. Stewardess uniforms of the German airline Lufthansa in the 1970s. An electric bathtub from 1910. School children line up for the free issue of Soup and a Slice of Bread during the Depression. Mealtime has arrived for the dedicated lumberjacks at the Scott and Graff Lumber Company in Minnesota, 1913. Girl with a Goat, Benton County, Arkansas, 1901. Twelfth and Market during the holidays, 1923. The oldest known documented wheelie, 1936. During the Vietnam War, one of the most dangerous jobs was undertaken by a select few known as tunnel rats. These unsung heroes were American, Australian, and New Zealand soldiers specially trained as combat engineers, who crawled through Viet Cong underground tunnels to perform perilous covert search and destroy missions. More than 10,000 men gather in Times Square, 1921. American Soldier Coming Home, 1917. Princess Marina, Duchess of Kent, born Princess Marina of Greece and Denmark, 1906 to 1968, in a beautiful still from 1936. She was a Greek and Danish princess by birth and a British princess by marriage. She was a daughter of Prince Nicholas of Greece and Denmark and Grand Duchess Elena Vladimirovna of Russia, and a granddaughter of King George I and Queen Olga of Greece. Breastplate armor of Ferdinand I, Holy Roman Emperor, 1549. When Calvin Graham was 11 years old, he began shaving, convinced it would make him look older than he was. He also practiced speaking in a deep voice, pretending to talk like a man. 2 years later, he forged his mom's signature to enlist in the U.S. Navy and ended up being awarded both the Bronze Star and Purple Heart before he turned 14. Detroit circa 1905. Steamer Sappho at Belle Isle. Ferry dock, Woodward Avenue. This sled is bringing much joy to one winter reveler in 1938. New York circa 1905. Metropolitan Life Insurance. Building, Madison Avenue and East 23rd Street. Detroit Publishing Company. Statue of Liberty towering over Paris just before it was disassembled and shipped to New York, 1886. French battleship Strasbourg and her crew. Toulon, France. Spring 1941. Abandoned house in Coudersport, Pennsylvania. North Carolina, 1939. In the 1930s, the Great Depression and a slump in the demand for coal left thousands of miners unemployed and their families hungry and desperate. President Herbert Hoover turned again to AFSC to establish a feeding program as he had after World War, this time in the United States. AFSC's work in the COA mining areas of Appalachia moved the organization toward a greater focus on domestic issues and economic justice. The Great Depression, A Sign of the Times, 1932. A man carries a sign reading, "I demand my life savings $2,950 from the Bankers Trust Company 14, Wall Street, New York." Photo, Fred Zinman via Bridgman Images. In the year 1927, a new chapter was written in the history of human flight. In a time when aviation was still a fledgling endeavor, Charles Lindbergh dared to imagine and achieve what had long eluded even the most intrepid pilots. Margaret Murray was an African-American educator and clubwoman. The child of a black woman and white father, she was from Macon, Mississippi. After the death of her father at the age of 7, Quakers took her in, and it was there that she received much guidance and education. She entered Fisk University in 1881 to become a teacher. Married to Booker T. Washington in 1893, his third wife, she stood steadfastly beside him in making his dream of a great school, Tuskegee Institute, come true. Crowds pack Fifth Avenue in New York City in 1956 to watch the Easter Parade. Getty Images. Egyptian women walking down a busy street. In Cairo, Egypt, 1950s. Farm family sitting down to supper, Claiborne County, Tennessee, 1940. New York circa 1903. Hotel Gregorian Palm Court. Cafe. Detroit Photographic Company. The huge Roman aqueduct built in Segovia, Spain, by the Roman Emperor Trajan AD 98 to 117. Claude Monet and his wife in Venice, October 6, 1908. Cold Winter's Day, late 50s, New Lanark Mills. Fisherman's family returning from early morning's fishing. Near Acres, Louisiana, 1938. Drive Est A. Malloy examining Louis Graves and his family on their front porch. North Carolina, 1940. Theodore Roosevelt and John Muir at Yosemite, 1903.